On top of that, they have their own secrets, which is kind of baked into each course. Hey everyone, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing The Menu. Yes. I watched this at TIFF. This one really stayed with me. One of the best original concepts this year. This story is just so fun and delicious. It's so delicious. You just sink your teeth into this world that Mark Mylod created with Will Tracy and Seth Rice. It just feels like a perfect marriage of concepts. It was really, really fun. We have Anya Taylor-Joy in this. We have Nicholas Hoult in this. We have Ralph Fiennes, who was unhinged as Chef Slawik. And of course, one of the big names of, award season this year is Hong Chow, who is a supporting character in this, but she has an incredible presence and really works well with the moving pieces in this film. So now The Menu is something that none of us have really seen, but I really love when a film highlights a chef and explores, their training, their background, what they did to get into the industry, how they clawed their way up to the top. And this one really just shows the privileged way and the pretentious way that they have, presented their meal in that case. And then this one also kind of flips criticism on its head in the culinary industry, but is also really calling out film criticism in any medium, to be perfectly honest, in any industry. It was really fun to watch them peel back these layers. So essentially the story is about this couple who is played by Nicholas Hoult and Anya Taylor-Joy, who are invited to go to Hawthorne's place. Now at Hawthorne's, this is kind of like an annual secret dinner party, and there are select people that are invited by Chef Slawik himself, because then he prepares a menu for each of his guests. So it's a set menu, but each dish comes with a story and really does tie in to the couples that come, to the groups of people that come per table. And I thought that was really interesting. I cannot spoil this movie, nor do I want to spoil this movie. It's very hard to explain, but I think that a film like this, kind of telling an overarching story about criticism in the culinary industry, how privileged people can forget where they came from, how they started, and how they treat the others around them. On top of that, they have their own secrets, which is kind of baked into each course. So I thought that was really interesting. And then on top of that, with the presentation of each course, the cinematography in this, fantastic. The way they shot the food, just mouth-watering. And I really liked that they had a structure to this that obviously complements a menu, a full course meal. I really enjoyed that. But the thing with these courses is that with each course that was presented to the characters, the dynamic in the room would change, the conversations would change, and you find out a little bit more of each couple, of each grouping of people, and the camera was constantly moving, so you could see that each of them are having these different conversations and adding more pieces to the puzzle for the audience to piece together. So I really, really love this. I thought this was so different and fresh. It just felt so fresh. And it's one of the best movies of the year because there are constantly new twists that happen. It's not like little twists. Of course, there are bigger events that happen in this film that is kind of questionable. Very questionable, but it's all in the mind of Chef Slawik and how much he puts into making this meal, making this course, making 7 dishes, and how the story, his own story, is embedded in every single aspect of this meal and for others to enjoy. I think that everyone is a critic in this movie, and that's what adds to the humor of it, because Ralph Fiennes thinks that, he is the chef, that I put so much thought into this, in all of your stories, including my own, and I'm showing you how to enjoy a meal. This is there's senses that you need to heighten in order to enjoy this, to keep an open mind and understand what you're eating afterwards, what you're taking into your body. So I think that this is a very pretentious film, but it's also satirical at the same time, because it's showing how far past the point of like no return certain people can be, in how they do not remember where they came from and how they started. So you can be this like Michelin level chef, but like you started flipping burgers and you got to that point, but you forget that you started flipping burgers, and you forget that like that food, the comfort food, the all American food, is just as important as like a dish that's like this small that we're eating, and it's like gourmet, and it's, there's so many little ingredients that make the taste buds and explode, and it's savory, it's sweet, like there's so many different things that go into like this small little thing for this meal, but they're equally as important because everyone has a different range of perspective when it comes to food and meals, and that also ties in with culture and what you find important culturally with food as well. So I think that it's just an exploration of the culinary industry. It's like there are little stories within obviously the overarching story that we have here, and I think that it just makes the characters so complex and interesting. I really liked Anya Taylor-Joy in this. I did. It's not my favorite role of hers, but obviously she's absolutely fantastic and can do no wrong. She was really good. I loved her chemistry with Ralph Fiennes more than her chemistry with Nicholas Hoult. But Nicholas Hoult is so good in this. He's completely oblivious to what Chef Slawik is doing. He's so invested in the meal itself because he's a fanboy, and he doesn't really understand what's happening on the outside whatsoever in this. See, I'm trying not to spoil, it's really hard, but he's just so invested, and he's so funny in this. I love him. He is the standout for me. He's going to fly under the radar, obviously, because you have a powerhouse of Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes, but also Hong Chow steals certain moments, and she's really, really strong. I adore her in this. It's so structured, and I feel like there was so much symmetry with everything that happens. It's like everything was placed in a certain manner for it to work, and that's how detailed this movie is. And I think that that's what adds to the enjoyment as well, because you don't know what's coming. It's a very unpredictable film. I had no idea what was going to happen next. And I think that's why I really enjoyed it as well, because it's not like a textbook formula that we've seen with other genres and stuff like that. This is such a different piece. It feels like a posh culinary drama. I really enjoyed The Menu. Please go watch this. It's a lot of fun. I gave The Menu a 4 out of 5 on my Letterboxd. I also want to add that this has nothing to do with cannibalism. Just letting you know, because people walked into Fresh earlier this year, had no idea it was about cannibalism. People are going to go watch Bones and All. Me, yes, next week I'm going to go watch Bones and All. That's also about cannibalism. But The Menu, surprisingly, considering what everyone's been talking about, is not about cannibalism. So do not worry about that. This is a delight at TIFF, one of the biggest surprises of the festival for me. I cannot wait to watch it again. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.